for having, decided to enroll as an evaluator and as a mentor.
Change the screen. I think it's
Hmm?
showing the wrong screen.
Okay. So I'll just share it again. Let me share the Excel sheet first. Okay. So in this call, the technical team, actually led by Sanket, Ansul, and even me as well, we are going to do a deep dive on all the parameters of evaluation to understand the process, to understand the nuances, how to enter the scores into the idea portal. And all of them also are going to quote real world examples from all your projects from past events of UIP, just to ensure that all of you are clear in terms of the parameters. With that, I just hand the baton, to Sanket. Over to you, Sanket.
Thank you, Dipankar. So I know a lot of you have been in this boat before. You've been evaluators, you've been mentors before. So this should not come as a big surprise to you or something that's out of the ordinary. But I just want to again reiterate what Dipankar said, right? We have record number of submissions. We are looking at a good number of demos in the first round, which means as evaluators, you might also get a lot more than what it was last year if you were an evaluator last year as well. So, and again, the quality of projects, just keeps getting better and better. We do try to make sure that what you get as because evaluator stage is the final stage before we decide the top 6 projects that go into the grand finale. So, when it reaches the level of you guys, it needs to be at a stage where it is really demoable and it is absolutely in some way unique. It's a unique proposition. It's not something that is common, something that just anybody can pick up a repository and put it together. No, we want to make sure that we pass that stage and then come to the evaluation round. So just to give you a context, right? Right now the mentoring sessions are going on. The evaluations with the mentors will start from tomorrow onwards, tomorrow or maybe in a couple of days.
Yes.
And then they will probably go on for a good, 3 weeks or so. And after that, after the mentors have evaluated, there is another round of filtering that happens where from these 175, 180 odd ideas that are in the demo round, we will come down to a certain number because some of them will get filtered out. Some of them may not be great. Some of the demos may not be complete. There are multiple reasons why these parameters are exactly for that, right? And we do have a cutoff at some point saying that this is how we want to this is the minimum score that we would want for every project to have, so that when it comes to the evaluation round, at least you know the kind of quality you are expecting. So that's the idea here. Your rounds will probably start around third week of April to last week of April. And then, in the next couple of weeks, you guys will get some notifications from the idea portal on evaluations, and you will be these are the same parameters that we have on the portal as well, where you will be giving marks to the students based on their demos. So these are the 5 or 6
parameters.
The phase 1 is for the mentors. This is for the mentoring round. I think we've not had a session with mentors on these parameters, or we
had a session the mentor session in March.
There is slight difference in the evaluation phase 1 and phase 2, right? The phase 1, there are chances that the demo may not be complete, but it is still good enough for them to move to the next stage with the condition that you are going to do it. So if you see down, if you go little down, Dipankar, no, this is not too far. That's too far. Little up.
Yes.
No. Yeah. So here, if you see in bold, right? This is what the mentors look at, right? The demo may not be complete when they do the demo in the first round. They may do about 80%, 70% of the demo, but the mentors will have their own assumptions or their assessment whether they can complete a demo. And only then they will give marks based on that. So that's why we don't say demo as a whole. We say demo coverage. So how much have they covered during that phase? And it is very likely the students, again, with their multiple things that they have, with their academic schedule and all, they may not be able to do the whole thing, but they would need maybe a couple of weeks to, iron out the kinks and then get to a demoable stage. But that's an assessment of the mentor, right? So that we let them decide on how they think how likely the students are to present a final demo when they come to phase two. Because phase two, we want to make sure that the demo is as good as what they would want in the grand finale, or at least 90 to 95% there, right? We don't want something that is half baked, 50%, 60%, and then they promise saying that, yeah, we'll complete it. As good the idea may be,
Yeah.
but if it is not at a stage where you guys think that it is almost ready for a final demo, uh, just do not, no, let's make sure that you rate them accordingly, right? You don't need to give them high marks just because of their idea and their concept, but a lot of it depends on how they are able to demo the this particular idea. So that's something that I will emphasize on. And if you go down on the phase two, which is
Yeah, I'll just come to the phase two now.
so,
That will
so if you
follow.
see the phase two and the grand finale guidelines are the same. I think somebody has their hand up.
Sanket, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm disturbing you, Naveen here.
No problem. Naveen, tell me.
What if the idea is only theoretical basis, but it has
No.
some potential, but they'll not be able to prepare the
No, demo is an absolute must.
Okay.
If there is no demo, I think that idea will even not get into the first round. So
Okay.
forget the evaluators round, even the mentors round will not pass it if there is no demo.
Yeah.
A demo is a must for this event. That's an underlined statement that a demo is a must. However great their idea could be, however conceptually
Yeah.
amazing their idea is, but if they're not able to demonstrate it, there is no point moving forward.
And they should be having the demo at some form at least. In round one of evaluation, they should be having the demo at least at some stage of actually evolution. If they're not able to demo at last, they'll be losing a lot of marks in terms of demo coverage, in terms of the participation of the team and everything. So as Sanket said, it's a must. It's an essential part of the evaluation rounds, both for round one and round two of evaluation.
Okay.
So Amit and Ansul, do you want to add anything here?
Nothing specific. That covers.
Okay.
Because
And
I came
Sanket?
across with I came across with one idea wherein the students they need to develop a prototype with the devices like they have to acquire a circuit board, a lot of devices to means build a prototype. So I don't think so they'll be able to develop that in short period of time. So that's why I asked you. So in such
No,
cases,
we've
the idea.
had so Naveen, we've had hardware related projects in the past as well.
Yeah,
They've been able to procure it again. It all depends on how their university supports them in terms of getting these devices and making sure that they are available in time for them to put them together and put together a demo. But yeah, like I said, without a demo, it's not going to go any further.
Okay. So do you suggest us to drop that idea in that case?
If there is no demo, yes.
Okay.
If by the time they reach the first round demo, and again, like I said, I leave it to the mentor's assessment. How likely are they to complete the demo or have a 90 to 95% ready demo by round two? If they
Okay.
cannot, then I would highly recommend to drop the idea, drop or at least rate them accordingly.
Sure.
That
Sure.
this idea should not move forward just because it doesn't have a demo to go with.
Okay. Understood. Thanks, Sanket. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dipankar.
Great. Hope that answers your question.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these are the evaluation parameters that all you guys will be evaluating the ideas on.
And the weightage of marks as well.
Correct. So each of them is 20 marks. We've kept it very simple this time. No, in fact, even last year we had the same set of parameters. The idea here is just to make sure that there is unique proposition in the idea. There is some sort of novelty, even if it means it's slightly incremental, it's fine. It doesn't have to be a groundbreaking or a path-breaking idea or a demo. Even if it means they're trying to solve a problem in a very innovative fashion, that's fine. The problem could be, there could be 100 ways to solve that problem already. But if they have another way to do it, that's also something we should encourage, right? Because that's novelty part of the idea, right? And then there are a lot of other parameters that we will share this sheet with you guys so you have you can go through it at length. But just to give a quick overview of these parameters, the first is, like I said, the originality and the
novelty
idea. not just the idea, right? Even sometimes it's the approach that is novel, right? The end result might be the same, but the way they have got to the end result, the process that they have followed might be different, might be unique. So even those things you should take into account. It's not always just about the end result, right? What they're trying to achieve, but even the how part, like how they have got into that situation, how they have tried to solve it, what is their thinking around, why did they think this is the right approach to do it? So all of these are questions that you should be asking also to the students, right? And it's not just about them giving a demo and you giving the marks. It has to be a very interactive session. They will be given about 30 to 35 minutes to demo what they have, and the remaining 20-25 minutes that you have will be purely on questions that you ask them. And do ask them these questions, like, why do you think this is different? Why do you think this is a better way, or what is unique about your approach? So all these are questions that you should ask the students, get them to answer. It should not be something that they've just picked up from some 3-4 places and
then it's a borrowed concept. Yeah.
They should be able to answer these questions, right? Even if you go deep into, and you are all technical folks, right? You are not, you know how things work, so you can get a bit technical with them. It's absolutely okay for you to ask those questions and get those answers, right? And sometimes the students may not know, but again, I leave it to your best knowledge on how you think they have approached this problem or how they are answering your question. So that's the originality part. But the questions are across all these parameters and not just for originality and novelty. But I'm just telling you how a typical evaluation session should be conducted, where you should ask these questions. The one thing that we make mandatory for these students is to have the GitHub repositories and the code in the GitHub repository ready before they come, even before the first round, right? Not just the second round, but even before they do the first round of demo, we need to make sure that the GitHub, no, their codes are in the GitHub repository, so we can have an access to it. You can have an access to it. You can look around and see if you're keen on understanding how the code works. You're free to look around, navigate around and see. But yeah, don't run it on your system until you do a virus scan and all of that. But make sure that all these parameters are met. I think from a backend side, we do ensure that the GitHub repositories and everything are set properly, but you will have access to those repos for you to look at some of these code. And again, I'll let you know the people who you can contact if you need to look at these codes. So they will have to give you access, but you have that option, right? Second.
Just one more point to add. If it is possible that we switch on the co-pilot during this meetings or the evaluations, it will be great, because comments can be captured, which can be used for the final discussion.
Do you guys have a co-pilot license?
The person scheduling the meeting should have a
Yes.
license.
Sandhya should have a co-pilot.
The TA team should have a co-pilot license for
Correct.
that. Yeah.
Correct.
It will be really good, like if we can get that.
So all the comments, they can be captured yourself in
Yeah.
Copilot.
Yeah.
I'll check. That's a good thought. I'll check. When are the demos getting scheduled?
From tomorrow. So it starts from tomorrow. The scheduling is starting from tomorrow.
They need to have the license before they start scheduling.
Yeah.
That flag is set when the meeting invite.
I'll see if
Probably
talk
Christy
to
can
Christy and who are the people scheduling?
Dharani and
And Shivani, I think, no?
yes, sure.
Not Sandhya.
Santhya is actually in overall charge, but
Actually, what you can do is you can get a
People are scheduling calls.
managed mailbox, give it a M365 plus Copilot license. Then like all of them.
No,
can
these
have-
managed mailbox. There's some issue with the recordings. Where do they go?
into that managed mailbox OneDrive.
But then it needs since it's SharePoint and everything, right? Managed mail. The FMBs don't have it.
But otherwise, the alternative is that the TA folks have.
Somebody in the TFO who has should be. We will.
yeah, we can take it offline. Maybe. Yes.
Or if
But that's a
for
good
all
thought.
the demos, but at least phase
So it
2.
will really help us in that last 20 discussion,
Mhm.
because getting a lot of points.
At least before phase 2, we should be
Yeah.
able to get
No,
this.
prior to phase 2, because that will have the cream of the ideas. The best ideas will be there in phase 2 compared to phase 1. Okay, in terms of the parameters, we have talked about originality and novelty. Now we come to, in fact, feasibility and viability and desirability.
Correct.
So
So this is again it's self-explanatory, and
Yes,
I have a small little diagram on
the sweet
the
spot,
side, which is
the sweet innovation spot.
correct. So that's kind of what I think feasibility, desirability, and visibility, viability is, right? Um, Feasibility is more about, can this really be built? Can it work? Can it scale?
So it's
That's all
technically
part of
possible to build it.
Technical, not just technical, but even from a commercial perspective, is it feasible? Like, you can't be having a system that is going to incur millions of dollars in cost and give you hardly anything in return.
And
So
does
that's
it
not
make, business sense?
correct.
Yeah.
Second is desirability. Do we really need it? Is there really a problem that we're trying to solve? Is there a way? Do you really think a customer, even if it's a $5 investment, do you think a customer will pay for it? Simple things like, or will it pay for itself? So those are where the desirability comes in.
So is it a practical solution, basically?
Practical is more into the feasibility.
Feasibility thing, yes.
And viability is more about, does it really have business value? Is it worth doing it from a business perspective? Is
Commercial,
it
financial, yes.
financially viable for me? Is it technically viable for me? Do I have the right skill set? Do I have the right people? So it's all about, when you think of building a product, right? When as engineers, right, we always think of building products, building solutions. These are some of those parameters that we look at, right? Whether we really need to build it, whether it is feasible to build it, do we have the right skill set? Do we have the right tools? All of that sort of comes under this entire 20 marks that we have spoken about, right? Where we are looking at these three things. And I've put it under one single section, not three separate sections, because I think they all go hand in hand, right? Something which is not
Correct. They all
feasible,
overlap.
viable is not going to be desirable. Something which is not desirable, not feasible is not going to be viable. So I don't think it's anything separated out. So based on what you think on a viability, feasibility, and desirability perspective, where does this idea stand, or where does their solution stand? Please rate them accordingly, right? Whether based on these questions that we have. And that's why we've kept this small little diagram on the right to sort of make you understand what we are looking for, right? In terms of these three parameters, because sometimes there is confusion around these three parameters. There's also sustainability now, which is a fourth parameter. I've not added that yet, but that's also something you can think of, right? Where it really, is it sustainable? Is it something that, no, from not just from a energy efficiency perspective, but also sustainable from a technology perspective, right? Will it scale when technology scales? Will it be obsolete when the technology advances? So these are more from a sustainability perspective. Again, I've not added to the confusion here. I've just kept it very simple in terms of what these three parameters are. And then we are looking at the value, the impact. Now, a lot of these impacts could be social impacts. Many of the ideas that you would see would be around some social causes. Something that deals with blindness, something that deals with some health issues. These are all social impacts. But again, overall, what is the impact of this idea? If this idea is implemented,
if it can bring in the revenues.
Yeah, if it not just revenue, if it is a product, is it impacting the lives of people, right? Is this something that it's a real world need, is what impact is, right? What is the ROI? What is my return on investment for this particular idea that they have? And again, don't go into very technicals of this. Again, the students don't know what these parameters are, right? They are not shown these things until they do their demo. So you have to basically, like I said, ask the right questions, look for the right things when they're demoing it, so that you know exactly how to rate them on these parameters or on these scales. And then the next few are very standard, like how they've technically approached it, right? Whether they have a good architecture in place, whether it is modular, whether they are using a good tech stack, are they using any obsolete tools? All of those things, like the depth of their understanding, based on the technical questions you ask them, how they answer, all of that comes under the technical approach of this of the idea. Can you go down? Go to phase 2. This is phase 1 still.
Phase 2 will come after this.
Yeah.
They have got similar parameters, but
and the last
slight difference.
Different. This is
Demo completeness.
Complete
Completeness and the contribution of all the team members.
So if you see
Participation.
in the phase one, we are looking at demo coverage, and in the phase two, we are looking at
Demo completeness, yes.
So coverage could be 50%, 60%, give them another 2 weeks before they come to round two to ensure that they have close to 90-95% demo ready. And here is where you look at the completeness of the demo. So by the time it reaches the evaluators, it should be at a point where they are able to articulate the entire idea through their demo. If they have missed something, again, rate them accordingly. And very important aspect is the team participation. Now, we've always seen in previous cases where, although it's a 4-member team, it's like a one-man army.
Yeah.
Where just
Everybody has to present.
one person is answering the questions and so on. The other three are just silent. But you would want to ensure that when you ask the questions, you have multiple people answering.
And all shall take, all shall be taking the turns in answering. And also in terms of the contribution to the projects. Yeah.
Contribution to the
Contribution. It should not be a one-man.
Some people have done the initial groundwork or the research. Some people have done the dev part. Some people have done, the future work. Some people have done the UI. Some have done the backend. Some have done the database. But at least there should be clarity on how the work has been divided. It cannot be one person doing everything and the other three are just silent observers. Accordingly, we give them the marks. Like, if not everybody is participating, and this is the feedback we've given to the students as well, that, you need to have everybody speaking in these meetings. You cannot have only one person, talking about, about the project and about the question answers and so on. There's a question on the chat.
Yeah, is there a question on the chat?
Question that few folks have asked me is about the role of mentors during evaluation, specifically when the coordination between evaluators.
Good question.
Do mentors join the call? What is the role?
There's a remote for this, no?
So the mentors join the call as supplementary aid, right? They are not evaluating the idea at that point when it reaches you guys, right?
But they are also a part of the demos, right?
They are part of it. So they are
part of the demos.
So they will do the first round of evaluation. Right now, the way we have divided this is the mentor evaluations start tomorrow, where they will be, the mentor will not be rating their own idea. That's a clear no.
Yeah, because of bias.
There should not be any bias. So there should not be a way where a mentor is evaluating his or her own idea, but they will be evaluating other ideas. The only reason why mentors join these evaluation calls is so that if, let's say the mentors, they have had multiple sessions with these students.
Correct. Yes.
5 or 6 mentoring sessions. They would have given some feedback. They would have also given the demo completeness. So in phase 1, let's say they would have done 60% of the demo. And in phase 2, they have done 90%. So the mentor is the one who can validate that fact that, they were given that feedback in phase 1. They've done that in phase 2. So because they are a common link between the students and the evaluators. Was it not visible? Audible?
Yeah. The camera is not moving actually. So
is this the reason why it is?
I'm listening.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, sure. So
the camera is on the handsome person.
No, please continue.
Right. So where was I? So the only reason why mentors are typically there is because they have been with the student journey. They know exactly how the projects have evaluated, and they can, again, they are not evaluating it, but they can give you insights. They can give you a picture of how the students have evolved, how the project has evolved, how they have improved over a period of time, or how they have not improved over a period of time.
And also, in fact, ensure that the project idea, it satisfies all the parameters, all the conditions for it are ticked. So then basically, they can actually ensure that all the projects are of the highest, standards, and all the parameters are ticked and satisfied. Yes. So for that reason, the mentors also have to be a part of the call, because they'll be included in all their own actually project demos as well.
Yeah.
Transparency.
And they will have to guide and they will have to in fact guide all the students, and also in fact lead them, and sometimes as well.
See, the role of evaluators is only up to this point, right? Up to phase 2. The mentor role is until the grand finale. because if the student project gets selected into the top 6, right, it's the mentors who again help them with their presentation on how they want to present, what should be the flow like. They're given, say, 40 minutes. How should you break that 40 minutes? Who should speak what? So these are some of the things that the mentors help in. So the mentor relation with the student teams is a long relationship for about 3 months. Evaluators are only there for this particular exercise, which is evaluating the projects, giving their comments, and then it's up to us to decide whether they deserve to be in the top 6 or not.
Top 6.
But yeah, it's always important to have the mentors in these calls, because they will give you a complete picture of what has happened, how it has happened, whether they have done what was told to them.
Correct.
Because otherwise you'll never know, because you are looking at the project for the first time. How would you know whether right from February 1st to April 20th, what has been the journey like? What was there in the beginning? What has been done now? That's the reason why the mentors are typically in the call. But yeah, they are not evaluating the projects. The evaluations are only these people, you guys, the evaluators only. So typically what will happen is once these evaluations start, you will get an email from the innovation portal, and there will be a link to a specific ideas scorecard. So once the demo is done, once you finish the demo, you will be asked to click on that link and provide your scores, as well as give some comments, some feedback, some comments stating what did you think of the idea, what was right, what was wrong. Again, the students are not able to see those comments. It's only between us and the mentors who will see these comments. But those are some of the things that we want to ensure that we have captured in the idea portal itself, where the evaluations happen. So again, there is still time for this exercise, because the first round is still ongoing. But once it is done, once you have a filtered set of projects that go into the evaluation stage, you will have these links coming in. I think this is all I had to cover. I will share this Excel with you guys so that you have a full picture of what exactly is expected from you. But any questions that I can, or anything that anybody else wants to add, who's been an evaluator before, or who is wants to share some experience,
Yes.
or even add on to
Of the in fact examples from all your earlier projects, and also in terms of all the parameters, in case you have a doubt in terms of the technical approach, in terms of all the complexity and the depth of the solutions, any kind of doubts or queries on the parameters, please feel free to ask us here.
And you can use the channel as well during your evaluation.
Yep.
Like if you just have a head scratcher, just
we'll be having the Teams window where all the basically all the queries are going to be answered by us and the technical team as well. So any queries, and then also,
yes. So Dipankar, I have a question. Right.
Sure.
So are there similar sessions happening with students for sharing that demo or presentation? Because usually what happens is we recommend everyone from their team to talk, present, and share their thoughts. But usually it's only one person who does that. Right. So are any kind of instructions been given to the team, students?
So, well, to answer your questions, and it's a good question. So actually, as a mentor of your project, the onus is actually on you to educate your student team, to have all calls with them, to actually handhold them in terms of the contribution of all the team members. Make sure that it is not a one-man show. So the onus actually lies on the mentor. You can have n number of calls with them. You can have even a single call with them. You have to make it clear to them about all the parameters, whether they tick all the boxes in terms of the parameters. And also a thing that has been missed by Sanket is that the overarching parameter here is that the quality of the pitch, the quality of the articulation, they have to use basically a lot of visual aids. They have to have a storytelling technique to make it interesting, not only for the evaluators, but also for the judges in case they make it to the final round. So ultimately, the onus is on you to ensure that all the learnings from the mentor session and all the learnings from the evaluation session, which is this session, basically all the learnings are passed on to the students. So we will not be having a call with all the students. You are the link, actually, okay, and between us, the technical team, and the students here. The onus
Yeah, so Dipankar,
yes.
I am the evaluator, right? So I will not get an opportunity to
No,
tell
so
them
I
how.
think just to answer your question, Parag, so this has been something that we've told the mentors to
Mhm.
emphasize every single time that, whenever you do a demo, you can't have a single person talking.
Correct.
And if it still doesn't get to a point where you reach the second stage and you still have the same problem, a little bit of onus is on the mentors also
Got
that,
it.
did they tell them, or even if they've told them, did they not listen to it? So again,
Yes.
the marks should clearly reflect that, if I can say in simple terms. But yeah, we emphasize as much as we can. We don't have direct meetings with all the project teams unless they are the top six.
Correct.
So with the top six, it's a whole different discussion. But at
Mhm.
least with all these demo teams,
and all, the mentors have to take.
yeah, the instructions are given to the mentors, and like Dipankar said, it's up to the mentors to pass it on to the students, saying that
They are acting as a conduit.
these are the and again, there is no harm in them sharing these parameters, so they know exactly what they are being evaluated on.
And they make sure that they tick all the right boxes here.
Right.
Got
But
it.
basically, as an evaluator, you will only have to evaluate and judge the abstracts. Yes.
Got it.
Thank you, Parag.
But yeah, please ask those questions, Parag. I think that's the whole idea of these evaluation sessions, that even if they don't speak, see, typically, I know that there are in a team of 4 people, 2 people will typically take turns in speaking, but at least the other two should have had some contributions in terms of, to the project, be it initial research, be it development. They may not be great articulators, they may not be great talkers, but at least they've contributed to some extent. And that's what you want to know. Like, not everybody should be speaking, which is absolutely understandable, but at least there should be some division of work.
The contribution of each of the team members have to be, in fact, apparent and visible in terms of the project, in terms of the roadmap of the project as well. So even if it is a one-man show in terms of the presentation, at least in terms of answering the questions there on the evaluation round, all the team members should take part in answering the questions. They should not be mum. Suppose one of the team members has a perspective on the question, a different person could have a different perspective. So everyone should actually work like a team. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Parag. But yes, it's a good question.
Yes.
Odd
Yeah,
question.
thank you.
Essay answer is what we gave. 10-mark test. It was a 2-mark question, but we answered in brief.
Yes. This session is all about, actually answering the questions and making sure that all of us are aligned as soon as the evaluation is starting. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know how many mentors are on this call, but if you are a mentor, just make sure that your teams have at least, when they do a demo, right? What we've seen is sometimes the network connectivity is a big issue, especially with certain colleges. So at least tell your teams to have 2 laptops ready, and have presentations on both of them, demos on both of them, because it's ticking off when something is on the way and suddenly there is a network disconnection and so on. So all these things matter at the end of the day. All these small things matter. So if again, I know some of the evaluators are also mentors. So if you are a mentor, just make sure that your teams are ready for such things also, where there are technical difficulties and some issues come up at the last moment. It should not reflect on their marks, is what I'm trying to say, because it's not their fault. So, but just make sure that they have a backup ready just in case something goes wrong.
To add to his point here, I would also, like to add here that we have seen from the earlier events of UIP that there has been a lot of network issues sometimes in the evaluation round, especially in the first round of evaluation. The student team is actually, speaking, the audio is not heard. They are not able to even, present the demo as well. We then have to, reschedule the demo again on a later date, and that is an inconvenience to all the organizers as well. So I would request actually all the mentors in this call to ensure and tell the student teams to be in an area which has a good Wi-Fi and a good network connectivity, because sometimes the calls have to be rescheduled. This is actually a practically the difficulty. It is not their fault. I fully understand. but make sure that there are as less of network hiccups as possible here. This is an important point because I've been managing this event for at least 3-4 years now, and I've seen that this is a common problem. Make sure that the connectivity is basically unimpaired always. Yeah, yes, Visakan, yes, tell me.
Yeah, I have a question on demo completeness. So, 20 marks for demo completeness, right? So, what it means? So, there could be teams who have a good idea, good value. They planned for 5 features, but they could demo only 50% of it. That could be another idea, which is value is okay, but they could completely finish all the features and they could do full completeness of the demo. So, what is the actual meaning of demo completeness?
Correct. So if I might, start the answer, and then in fact, all of you can also add to my points. Demo. So basically, the completeness of the demo is in terms of the participation of the team, in terms of the division of work, in terms of answering the questions in the evaluation, rounds as well, and how basically how well the team actually has worked together in terms of the cohesiveness of the team, making sure that they are in fact one unit. Everybody has had a contribution. Everybody has just played a role in terms of the completeness of the demo. So in fact, it has to be apparent to the evaluators here that there has been a classification, there has been a division of work here. So if you want to add anything, Sanket, to this. So have they been able to collaborate effectively?
So I think I know where Visagan you're coming from, right? Where there could be a case where all the other 4 parameters you would rate them very high, but there is hardly a demo to go with, right? And I think those kind of projects should be filtered out in the first stage itself. That great, you have a great idea, it's amazing, but it's still on paper, right? It's very theoretical. You may have a good approach to it, but where is it? Where is it solved? Do you have a demo ready with it? And that's where the mentors round is very important, where they will tell you or they will decide whether this is something that can go to the next round. So by the time it reaches you guys, it should not be a case where you have a 30-40% complete demo. No, if that is the case, then we are definitely no, we should be holding the neck of the mentor, saying that, what did you do in the first round where you said that this is a complete demo or a likely to be completed demo, right? So I don't think you will get to a situation, but even if you do, again, put the comments in there. Make sure although you rate them high, but a comment will help so that we can reevaluate and see whether we need another round with the team. We could have a separate round with that team to make sure that what the comments are really mean what the team has demoed or not demoed. So I see what your point is, but I hope that most of such cases are filtered in the phase 1 itself. Yeah. Does that help answer?
Yeah, definitely. My other point is, so what if there are like 10 features planned, but they could do only 5 of it, and 5 of it not done
fine.
because of technical.
It's not a project. It's not a Jira project where you have features and they need to complete it. If they've done 5, and if the 5 are, just rate them on those 5. Forget the other 5 that they've left out, but on those 5, how do you rate them on these 5?
So that was a little bit nuanced in the sense that like they will have a pitch. It's not just a demo, right? They're not just going to share their screen and start clicking around. So based on their pitch, like they may have said, I've done create an AI agent that does A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But like in the demo, following the pitch, if there is just A and B, that's an incomplete demo. Right. Okay. So it's okay if the abstract says that they were going to boil the ocean, but if the pitch also says that and the demo is incomplete, that the pitch may be excellent. You may give 5, 5, 10, 10 for everything else, but the demo is not complete. They sold something, but they're not actually delivering it.
Okay. Yeah, that's clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
One more suggestion, the bunker I had is the college teams. So during the evaluation round, they can request their labs to have extra broadband and all these things.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's the same thing also that in fact I had mentioned earlier. You see, the network has to just, they have to make sure that they have a backup, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the connectivity.
They can manage, like if the college teams are really helpful, if they know in advance.
Yeah, the colleges can, play a big role in that regard. Yeah. As I said, in fact, the network is extremely important. A lot of these actually are no-shows. I've seen from all the earlier events. So if I can read the questions here, what if on the evaluation day, evaluator is on planned leave? Can we need to inform Dipankar or Sanket?
Not, please no.
No, please no.
Don't tell anybody on.
So I would request you if you can, still attend the demo because it's
No. Why? No.
They're on plan.
Reschedule. So somebody from the TA team, either Santya, Jonathan, what are the other names? Tarini,
Dharani and Shivani.
Whoever has scheduled, let them know that you're on planned leave and they will reschedule it. But don't do it if it's a planned leave, like you've mentioned. Don't do it like a day before. If it's
But you need
planned
to
leave,
inform
at
the
least
team in advance. Yes.
at least do a week before so that they have some breathing space to reschedule. Because you can imagine at 150 demos, they need to finish in 2 weeks. So it's going to get a little crampy. So make sure that if it's a planned leave, you inform them well in advance. If it's something which is
exactly about the dates that you're not there. Yeah.
but if it's an unfortunate thing that you have to take a leave on that day immediately,
Or
that's fine.
Like an emergency leave or a health leave.
All those are understandable.
Everything, all those are acceptable. And to answer the question of Dinesh, how will we be notified? So the TA team is basically, going to schedule all your calls. The call scheduling is going to start from tomorrow. That is the inputs I have got from, actually Santya.
No, that is for the mentors. For the evaluators, it will still take time.
Yes.
So if you are not a mentor, you will still, it'll be something around April 2nd or 3rd week onwards when these sessions.
No. I just basically, got a text from her right now that, they're going to, in fact, start the scheduling of all the evaluation rounds from tomorrow.
First is the mentor round, the phase 1.
Yes.
This is phase 2.
Yes.
So for this set of people, it's going to be after a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Not now. Now it's only the mentor rounds.
Mentor rounds?
Mentor evaluation rounds. No, mentor rounds will not have evaluators. It will only be
the mentors.
Okay.
Can we have pre-recorded demos?
Not preferred. So
Should be live.
Should be live. They can have a backup. Let's say the demo goes kaput in between. So basically, it's going back to the network thing. Right? It's not just network. We've had a lot of cases where someone's like, "This worked on my laptop 10 minutes ago. It's not working now." There are at least 3 to 4 people in most teams have a backup on another laptop. If that also does not work, yes, we can look at a record demo, but the score should reflect that appropriately. A pre-recorded demo does not have the same impact as something done live.
So this basically, I'm gonna, actually, I just am reading the message of Sandhya. The demo rounds of phase 1 are going to start from next week only.
Correct.
Okay. So
And please
till
keep
the
your
26th
channels.
of April, and then the round 2 is going to start. Now, to answer the question of Parag here as well about, about all the top mentors, yes, we have an RNR which is scheduled at the end of the program. Now, to judge about a mentor and to ensure the top 3 mentors or the top 10 mentors, that's a bit subjective. But we have an RNR event at the end of the finale where we will offer mementos and trophies and certificates to all the mentors and the evaluators. So please make sure to be part of the event. We also had the event, actually last year as well, where in fact I had moderated the event. So please make sure that in fact you're a part of the event. And in terms of the top 3 and the top 10, no. We don't do it because again, in terms of the standard of the projects, in terms of the degree of difficulty, it's a bit subjective and difficult to evaluate.
And not just that, Parag. I think one of the reasons we've never done that is because sometimes some of the best teams, who know the drill, who know how exactly UIP works, they've had seniors, they've had professors who know exactly how this works. They don't need a lot of mentor help. And if that is the criteria that you are evaluating on, like, okay, if the project has won the first prize, that means you should give the best mentor award to this person. It doesn't gel well because some of these teams are so self-sufficient that the need for a mentor is just to get them the information they need from us rather than actually mentoring them because they know the drill. They've done it in the past. They may be repeating candidates, repeating teams. So all these things matter, which is why we've never done this. So that's why we keep it simple, give it to all.
Yeah. Thank you. And then to answer the question of, Santosh Kumar, yes, when the call is being, actually fixed, you will have a link to all the projects that you're going to evaluate. Yes.
And I believe they'll also, all the evaluators for that project will get GitHub access to that.
Yes.
Yes. They will also be having
Yeah.
the GitHub access to that. Yes.
That there are people on this call who have to ensure that, Arjun and Visagan.
Yeah, Arjun and Visakan are also in this call. We just request you to ensure that all the evaluators have.
And we request the evaluators to actually go in and look at the code. There are instances where like the project is A, the demo is B, and the stuff on GitHub is C. There is no overlap between any of the three things. So like that, and that's just someone uploading random code so that this thing is satisfied, right? So we leave it to the evaluators.
So to answer the questions of Lily, you don't have a template or a guideline for all the student demos. We will be having a template only in the, only in the finale stage or in the tech conference stage. In terms of the certificates, yes, we will be having the certificates for all the finalists and not before that. In terms of the core lab, if Sanket can answer that, should they complete 100% implementation before first review?
No,
About the Google
Colab, no, we don't. There is absolutely no tool or infra or anything that we provide or we fund. It is all up to the university, and the students have a lot of free resources that they have access to, so they can use any one of them. And in the past, they've done it, so it's up to them to figure it out. From a 100% implementation point of view, may not be, for at least for the first round. Sometimes they do 60%, 70%, but the idea is whether they are likely to finish the whole thing in the next 2 to 3 weeks before the evaluation of the evaluators start. I mean, evaluators, this set of people are the SMEs. They are, you guys are at a certain level when it comes to technical, knowledge. So when it reaches your level, they should have a 90 to 95% complete demo. But yeah, at the first stage, it could be slightly lower than that. What question did we miss?
Yeah, about Sasmita, if you can repeat your question here. I have not been able to read your question.
So can you go up in chat?
Yeah, so in terms of the calendars, she's saying that she can update the calendars so that the TA team will know exactly about their availability.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds good. Yes.
Put an out of office and they'll know that you're not in office on that day. And
you're not there. And even in terms of your availability also, they will obviously be checking your calendars to just make sure that you're available for all the demo rounds, for all the evaluation rounds. So any other questions, please? We'll be happy to take as many questions as possible.
There are more questions.
Till 1 p.m. till the time permits.
There are more questions in the chat.
Huh?
There are. Go up. No, is there any?
Yeah, template guidelines.
So then if you can just read the question aloud.
I think yes, there is a question about students have asked the following questions. Any template guidelines for?
No. I have answered that. I have answered that already. Yeah, I have answered that already.
Okay. That's it.
So any other questions?
So another thing is, as evaluators right now, that after your round is when we decide the top 6, top 7.
Yes.
Whatever.
We'll have a war room session for that.
So we typically want to make sure that all you guys have some notes prepared when you do these demos, when you're sitting in these demos, because you will be the ones who will be talking about these projects and defending whether you think, if you've given a 70 out of 100, why do you think it is 70 out of 100, right? So
we will need to justify.
Correct. So
on your ratings.
Make sure that it's not something like, oh, what, I forgot what happened at that point of time because it was.
And all the sessions will be recorded so you can go
back. Yeah, all the sessions are going to be recorded.
We are trying to get Copilot licenses to see if the organizers can get it. So you have.
The comments can be recorded.
But if not, whatever be that case, have your own comments ready. So whenever we ask about a specific project, we know who the evaluators were. So we will ask you saying that, do you think this really deserves to be in the top 10 or the top 6? And if so, why? If not, why? So you should have answers to those questions so that, when we get to that point, we have clarity on why you think this should be included or this should not be included.
Thank you, Sanket. And somebody has his hand raised.
Hi, I have a question related to the phase 2 round. So how many evaluators will be there per team?
Two.
And what will be the filtering out in phase 1 and phase 2? Like, is there any
It depends,
target?
Akshay. So I think depending on how the scores come up, we'll have a cutoff. Let's say we're getting scores where 60 we think is a cutoff or 50 we think is a cutoff. Depending on the scores, we'll have to decide on what the cutoff will be. But typically, you would see about half to a little more than half number of projects come from phase 1 to phase 2.
Yes.
So if there are about 180 projects right now in phase 1, close to 100 to 110 will be an expected number in phase 2.
Okay.
But then it will vary. So then
Yeah,
you don't have a fixed number for that. It varies from year to year, depending on the quality as well. There is a question asked. Can you in fact read aloud?
if you have a conflict, please ask the TA team to reschedule. That's absolutely okay.
Yeah, ask them to reschedule it. Because I do know that all of you are also in your role and responsibilities, and the bandwidth also is tight. So you can always ask them to actually reschedule.
And again, depending on the number of, like I said, there are 2 evaluators for each idea. If there are 100 ideas, we are looking at 200 evaluations, which means some of you may get multiple ideas to evaluate as well. So
Correct.
Please do so. Don't think that it's only going to be one idea per evaluator. You may get more than one. You may get maybe 3 also sometime, because the algorithm is very random, right? We want to make sure that you don't get more than 2. But in case you do, just let us, in case if you just cannot do it, let us know.
Inform that.
But if you can manage that 45 minutes to 1 hour in the week, then it'll be really appreciated if you can do that.
Because we take you actually as SMEs, and your ratings are of immense value to us. I can see a hand raised here.
You think they would?
So can you speak here?
You think
Yes.
they?
Do we get project code to record in the timesheet? No. It is actually a voluntary activity. In fact, in UIP is a voluntary activity. You don't have a project code, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have one question. That which business idea we are focusing on to filtering the ideas. So there are many domains in our business, like public sector, aerospace, we have e-commerce, we have many. So what UNIS is looking for to filtering the idea when we are
Not
evaluating this?
specific to any domain. So
again, it will be filtered on the basis of the parameters, on the basis of the evaluation in parameters here.
No, but
So
how means
it is not
UNIS if it's aerospace, are we doing any project on aerospace?
No. So so this is this has been a debatable question for a long time, where our businesses are very different sometimes, right? And let's say we may not do anything in aerospace, but the idea or the approach or the technology that they've used may be used in some other places, right? So it's not always about a business domain that we look at. I know we have certain pillars. We don't do anything in healthcare, for example, but we have so many ideas in healthcare. It's the algorithm sometimes that works. It's the process that works. It's the students that work, right? Because we hire these students. Maybe their idea is not in one of our business domains, in one of our pillars that we make revenue in, but these are very smart kids that we should tap on, right? We are also looking at hiring these people from this event into the company as full-time employees. So there are a lot of factors apart from just the Unisys business domains that we are looking at. So I don't think we should focus on a domain when you're evaluating the idea. You should focus more on these parameters: motivation,
Yes.
the student themselves, their the impact that they can bring, the kind of algorithm that they've used, the approach that they have, the novelty of the idea. These are the parameters you should look at. Don't look at business domain at all, and don't think of putting this idea into a domain and trying to make it a product for Unisys to sell.
Yeah,
That's not
Unisys
what we're
fit is
looking at.
explicitly not an
We don't
evaluation
have
criteria.
we don't have that as a parameter for a reason.
Ideas are not judged on the basis of the domains here. To answer the question of Shankar here, no, the evaluation rounds will not be scheduled on Saturdays. It will be on all the working days.
Well,
Friday.
let me take that a little bit as a grain of salt. So there is no reason why not. In case you think
If
you want
it's-
to do it on a Saturday and the students are also willing to come on a Saturday and do it with you, that's fine.
Then you can work with the TA team to ensure that you're available.
Why am I saying
Why
just,
Why are we
Yeah,
looking at Instagram?
just to make them know that I have stopped sharing here. I don't know, in fact, who is showing this, because I have stopped sharing of my screen. Shruti, can you please Put it off. Somebody's Insta was on. Whatever.
I mean, like,
By accident.
happy
Yes.
to see stories, but
So in terms of evaluation rounds, okay. So in case if you think that you're free only on Saturdays, talk with the TA team, make them know about your availability.
Yeah.
So that the calls it can be scheduled.
Ideally, no, because
Ideally, no.
like I said, it's not just your time, right? The TA team also is on that call. The student teams are on that call.
Sometimes I also am on the call.
So just want to make sure you avoid it, but it's absolutely unavoidable that you have to do it on a Saturday. Let them know if they can get it for you. Great.
Yeah, they can do it. But yeah, normally it is, actually scheduled only on the work days.
And even on a work day, right? These demo rounds are typically in the evenings.
Yes.
It's after the students come home or after their lectures are done. Right? Typically, I'm saying I'm not all the time.
If you have a large number of demos, then I'm saying starts in the morning. Yes.
Yes. Saying typically
it starts in the morning as well sometimes.
So
but yes,
depending on the students' availability. A lot of this depends on the students' availability also.
And sometimes the students also actually are taking them, actually in college as well, right?
Yeah, college.
But yes,
But yeah, be a little mindful that it's not just your time. It's the TA team's time. It's the students' time.
It is everybody's time.
Panga's time. It's
Jonathan's time.
I'm not in those demos.
If you are in the call.
So
because you are an evaluator also. In fact, in actually in all the earlier events I remember. Yeah. So any other questions? We have just actually 1 minute to take the final question. Precisely, we have a minute. Your clock is ticking. So any other questions?
Clock is ticking.
We are there to help you. And basically, as we said earlier, we will be having a chat, window on Teams where all of you are free to ask your questions again after this, even after this call. So, with that, I can see that there are no more questions. And with that, all the best for all your evaluation and demo rounds. I wish all of you to succeed and do well. And I wish that all of you will be able to handhold all your student teams. Thank you and all the best. And wish you a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.